streets. The river flows, raised by fire. Heat is heard.
Everybody, get Baba Tunde. Baba Tunde. Baba Tunde.
Is he nasty or what? My. Look at here, look at here, look at here! Give yourselves a hand, be some noise, do something! Come on, come on! Come on, Lord! Come on! In times of madness, in times of deprivation, in times when everything is sucking into the sewer of ugliness, there is a beauty, there's a love, there's a strength, there's a power, and you've got it. If you don't have it, you came to the wrong place. Because we're going to give you something that you can take with you this evening. The last poets are back, and that's a fact. And no more time for bullshit raps. Let's get back on track. It's about time. Some folks lose focus. Forget what the prize is all about. The last poets were born May 19, 1968 in Mount Morris Park, in Harlem, New York. The park has been renamed to Marcus Garvey Park. Very nice. Marcus Garvey. You remember Marcus Garvey, you know, very important brother. The Black Star Line and all that. And they got the name right there on the fence when you walk into the bar. Marcus Garvey. Where's the statue? Where's the plaque that talks about the things he did for blacks? Where is the big red, black, and green flag flying in the middle of the park? Where's that? That ain't a park about Marcus Garvey. It's still Mount Morris Park. But that's where the last poets were born. In Harlem. Harlem doesn't look so good. Maybe to the tourists, it does. They come through every day, every day. Started out with a brother named David Nelson. Wrote a poem entitled Die Nigga Die. Tried to kill niggas 29 years ago. Lord have mercy. Niggas are tough. Niggas are tough. Won't die. Can you give David Nelson a hand, please?
Another brother in the park that day with Abiel June and David Nelson was a brother by the name of Garland Kane, who was alive and well and Amsterdam, Holland. Give Garland Kane a nice hand.
Garland Kane. Some of you are familiar with his son, Khalil Kane, who played in Juice, a movie that exposed or something about what black folks do, that we shouldn't do. You know, in New York City, it's very hard to do anything without a serious Latin influence. In the last poets, we have a fantastic Latin brother. And he looks good in those suits and ties on TV and shit. And he's real cool. I'm at a school now where he was a principal for a day, and the kids love him because he's so full of love. Himado, my pretty nigga. Remember that? How many of you remember that? And fish smells, and cane smells, and fish smells, and cane smells, and oppression makes even God smell foul. Give Felipe Luciano a big hand, please.
Another brother who was part of the last poets fraternity, who was the last member, as a matter of fact, to join the fraternity, but yet who was the eldest. As a matter of fact, this brother died 2 years ago, and tonight we would like to give him just 30 seconds of remembrance, please. Give Suleiman El Hadi a nice hand.
Suleiman El Hadi. Daybreak's got the shakes, joint-driven minds, everybody expert Jones is down on me. Got attitude, fighting bad feelings, and from said, another 24-hour dredge, might need me some skate. All my brothers do ready to call me a transparent thing in bed, because I'm strung out with that white witch. My time is bitch, running white horse, my main vein, damn baby. I got to kill this face, ooh, this pain's getting worse. Let me see how much dough this hoe got in her purse. She don't care, she's on welfare, I'ma steal her check and call me a dick and do me some stuff. When the going gets rough, where's my wine? Give Jalal, man, Sunuruddin a hand, please. Oh yeah, last one's got some shit for you. Always had. And you know what's so wonderful about it? We started out with understanding that we're not asking nobody permission. We're doing this because this has got to be done. And that's how you got to feel. I don't care what it's about. You're in America.
The young man to my right, whom I first met when I came to New York City in 1969 from the Midwest. As a matter of fact, from Ohio, the heart of it all. Anybody here from Ohio? All right, Buckeye, I hear you. I was just there to see my Mother's Day. Akron, Ohio. Ohio is still the same. Ohio ain't gonna never change, as a matter of fact.
The heart of it all.
But anyway, I met this brother when I first came, and it was him and Elijah, and he introduced me or inducted me or initiated me into the Last Poets, and he's the writer of such memorable Last Poets classes as Two Little Boys, New York, When the Revolution Comes, and Dash Man, Happy O'Doon.
Brother to my left who always loves to tell me about Gash Man, and a lot of you probably don't know what that's about. We have a Last Poet handbook that you can get, maybe it'll break it down. It's actually a book in the back. But before I go into any details, I just want you to know that it's a pleasure to know that the word is back, that there's some sacredness to the language again, and that there are a lot of young, great poets out here who are blossoming, and this is happening right before your face. And I really hope that you take from this fruit, because the fruit is good and it's juicy, and some of those people I'm talking about have been nurtured and have been worshiping for a very long time, this brother, just because he made it clear a long time ago that niggas, no matter what shade, what size, whoever you think you may be, but niggas are scared of revolution. Umar bin Hassan. Now we've always, now it's very interesting, you got like a real lesson in the original voice earlier, rendered by Brother Babatunde. In the beginning we had a brother named Elijah, and he played the drums, the drums spoke to us, and the drums and the word was one. And we had to find a right brother that could do that with us on this journey. And we've got the brother. And please give a real warm hand once again for Don Babatunde. As they say, I'd be remiss, whatever. I just feel real fucked up if I did not say that there are some people here that I love dearly who are very special and who have been really given some love to the heartbeat of the music that we love. And one of those people's in the audience tonight, I just gotta give him credit because he's got his name in lights in Harlem. And his name is James M. Tomei. Give James M. Tomei a big hand, please. The bad brother, Juicy Fruit himself. Bad brother. Oh, he's got the episodes in New York Undercover down, y'all. Everybody lives and everybody comes back happy next season. The guy that was killed, he had on a bulletproof heart, and he survives. We're gonna get started, y'all. Y'all been waiting, we're ready. And we want you to go with us, please. Whatever's been happening in your day today, just kind of shove that aside right now. Kick that to the curb, and let's get on this boat together to free land. Please. Rock with us. If you can rock. If you can't, we'll watch us. The time has come.
The time has come
for us to be.
For us to be
more in control,
more in control
destiny,
of our destiny.
direct our lives,
Direct our lives
in such a way,
in such a way
to bring about
a better day.
For we have returned, to take back our land, to do what we can, to be free, For we have returned, to take back our land, to do what we can, to be free, For quite some time, been misled, believing in things, someone else said, we lost all consciousness, but now we know it was just a test. For we have returned, to take back our land, to do what we can, to be free, For we have returned, to take back our land, to do what we can, to be free. The time has come for us to be more in control, destiny, direct our lives, such a way to bring about a better day. We have returned, to take back our land, to do what we can, to be free, For we have returned, to take back our land, to do what we can, to be free. For quite some time, been misled, believing in things that someone else said. We lost all consciousness, but now we know it was just a test. For we have returned, to take back our land, can you feel it? To be free, For we have returned, to take back our land, to do what we can, to be free, to be free, right now, to be free, to be free, to be free, to be free, need you, to be free, need me, to be free, got to be free, you and me, to be free, to be free. Or do you want to be somebody else? Or do you really care about your kind? Is there really anything on your mind? Do you feel good about yourself? Or do you want to be somebody else? Or do you really care about your kind? Is there really anything on your mind? Do you feel good about yourself? Or do you want to be somebody else? Or do you really care about your kind? Is there really anything on your mind? Michael, do you feel good about yourself? Or do you want to be somebody else? Or do you really care about your kind? Is there really anything on your mind? We gotta share our love with one another. We got to wipe the frowns right off our face. Can't live no more hurting each other. It's a doggone shame and a damn disgrace. And the cloudy minds of unloved people who never knew what it was all about. Got to be a real shining example on the positive side so we can really turn out. I'll sing for you, you dance for me. Let's rock together in harmony. Rhythms in our hearts, music's in our souls. Got a story to tell, still untold. Feel good about yourself. Or do you want to be somebody else? Or do you really care about your kind? Is there really anything on your mind? Do you feel good about yourself? Or do you want to be somebody else? Or do you really care about your kind? Is there really anything on your mind? Do you feel good about yourself? Or do you want to be somebody else? Do you really care? Do you feel good? 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 Do you wanna be somebody else? Dennis, do you feel good? Good. About yourself. Vanessa, do you wanna be somebody else? Do you feel good? Do you feel good?
This next poem, Deirdre, Miss Tennessee, Miss Mouth Almighty, where you at,
She's
girl?
over there.
I got you, girl. You know I ain't gonna forget you, baby girl. I brought her rose this morning. I brought her rose. She said, oh, thank you, my darling. Usually she be calling me crazy, man. But when you bring them girls and flowers, it's thank you, my darling. So tonight I'm gonna cap it off for you, love, with a dedication of poetry. Aren't I just a wonderful human being? You're a lovely little thing, yo. This is to you, baby.
I'm always off the hook.
Oh, no, really, I am off the hook, for real. There's no puzzle to that one. I'm from Ohio, don't forget that. From the heart of it all.
All the serial killers go now. Nah, he's a serial killer with words. His words.
You ready?
I'm looking, you know I am looking for love. I'm looking for life. Looking for love, looking for life, looking for a dream we want to rise. Looking for love, looking for life, looking for a dream we want to rise. Looking for love, looking for life.
Time in becomes time out. Group anxieties become personal doubt. Expressing ourselves in doubts and dashes, pure cocaine and false eyelashes. Living inside words that seem to lie. Living inside excuses that pass us by. Living inside loneliness becomes a high. Living is mixed up with wanting to die. A daily question of going insane while tormenting one another, trying to ease the strain. Dreaming of tomorrows we'd like to know, repressing our thoughts but wanting to grow. The heart and soul are not involved. Idle chatter becomes reality while problems go unsolved. Prearranged, prefabricated, and preconditioned, we're baptized, advertised, and posthumously mentioned, weaned and groomed for the glory of applause, living off the mercy of unwritten laws, shell-shocked patrons making peace with God while admiring the acrobatics of a junkie's nod, turned into robots through the power of suggestion. We seek an answer and become the question. Afraid we might die before we live, blessed with life but then afraid to give. We want to be amorous, glamorous, and larger than life. Our cheap illusions become high-priced strife, losing ourselves, and become unusual with unusual flair. We touch religion and make it seem like hell, but then we touch on holy dreams and wish them well. Faith is replaced with apathy and grief. Indifference is made acceptable, and then a belief. Our left eyes are glitter while our right are blind. We submit to this madness and hope it is kind. Distraught women seeking compassion while turning tricks in high rolling fashion, finding love at the expense of losing their cool, looking for happiness but finding a fool. Their moments of trust become deceitful charms, one-night stands in strangers' arms, carousing with disaster in very high places while cutting off noses to spite their faces, while the men play games of power and glory, tattooed witness of an old war story outside themselves, inside their heads, top secret discussions on waterbeds, men without neither rhyme nor reason, lost in the depths of mental treason, abstract victims of the American dream, victims of a disguise, a well-planned scheme, victims of a subtle but dangerous game, rugged individualism with a psychotic name. We confuse the normal, and we exalt the extreme. We make war a reality and call peace a dream. American contradictions in black and white. We illuminate contradiction and call it the light. America provides you with fortune and fame. America provides you with fortune and fame while stealing your soul for its own acclaim. With the English language at its command, it perpetuates illusion throughout the land, running big game in tiny print. Before you got it, it's already spent, making sacrificial lambs of the middle class, indulging and rhetoric with his head up and lulls you to sleep with the 6 o'clock news, and then wakes you up and spoon feeds you blues. But from the darkness of ourselves, we can find a brighter day. Understanding and truth must show the way. To understand that every man's color will not be as hard. To go inside yourselves is where it must start. To learn to be considerate, to learn to be humane, to learn to use power and not become vain. To understand you can be strong and not be crude. You can be outspoken and not be rude. To revile the tyrant, to protect the weak, to ensure the innocent their right to be meek. To look on the sea and understand this motion. To understand tenderness and give it devotion. To understand courtesy and to make it a pact. To understand what love is and make it a fact, because we all must struggle, we all must strive, because somewhere in the future we all must die. But to leave a legacy which will long, which will long unfurl, that ours too was a struggle for a better world.
Looking for love. Can we hear it from the brother, please? Yes, I think that, this is a kind of family gathering here, and a piece that Umar likes and I like, and I don't do it much, I'm going to do now, because it's my people, and my people is, folks that understand the flow and how we got to go, understanding that folks have differences, and that's what makes us beautiful. Not try to make everybody the same, Puff and Spot, Kick and Jane don't work for everybody. We gotta have some flavor that relates to who we are. A lot of kids in schools, they say can't read. Look at what they're giving them to read. Who wants to read that shit? A lot of the teachers who are teaching that shit, they don't want to read that shit. They want to learn math. Their kid can't count. Their computer skills are very low. And we're talking about geniuses. We're talking about mathematicians that can take a beat on the desk, any fraction you can imagine. Do algebraic equations when they jump rope. My people, my people. My people are black, beige, yellow, brown, and beautiful. A garden of life with a love as sweet as scooping our wine. Growing in muddy waters, making brown babies with pink feet and quick minds. My people warm, sometimes hot, always cool, always together. Together in church, in school, in jail, in the service, in the streets of the ghettos, without this forsaken land. My people, let's be together. Let's be together. Understand that we've lived together. Understand that we've died together. Understand, my brother, I smell your piss in my hallway and it smells just like mine. My people. Understand that I love your woman. My sister. And her rare beauty is reason enough for a revolution. Reason enough for a revolution. My sister, I have had ugly moments with you. You know we have. Put it in the paper. Talk about it on Kiss FM, Hot 97. Make songs about it. We have had ugly moments, but you are the only beauty I've ever known. Yes, sister, my honest sister. You are the joy in my smile, the reality of my dreams. You are the only sister I have, and I need you. I need you to feed the children of our race. I need you to feed the lover of our race. I need you because you are the natural life of the living. At night there is a moon to make the blackness be felt. I am that blackness, filling up the world with my soul, and the world knows me. You are that moon, my moon goddess, peacefully smiling down light on son, and I shall take this piece of light and build the world for you, my sister.
My people.
Sometimes the waters are rough, as a hungry tide swallows the shore, washing away all memories of children's footsteps playing in the sand. Where is the world I promised my son? Must he push back the tide and build the world I've talked about? Am I so godly until I forget what a man is? Am I so ripe until there is no room for patience? My brother. My brother, 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 father of a son, my brother, father of a warrior, my brother the son, my brother the warrior. Be the beginning and the end for my sister. Be the revolution for our world. Turn yourself into yourself and then on to this disordered world and arrange the laughter for joy and the tears for sorrow. Turn purple pants, alligator shoes, leather jackets, brown boots, polka dot ties, suits, turn miniskirts, false eyelashes, blonde wigs, afro wigs, Easter wigs, bell bottoms. Turn this confusion into unity. So that the sun will follow our footsteps in the day, so that the moon will glow in our living rooms at night, so that food, clothing, and shelter will be free, because we're born free to have the whole world as our playground. My people, my people, we need unity, we need unity, we need unity, we need unity. Hey y'all, we need unity, 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 we need unity.
Listen now. This next poem is dedicated to James Ntume. Matter of fact, he was the inspiration for this poem. We were working on this piece called, for the Panther film called, don't you give me, broccoli and tell me, well, don't you give me no greens and tell me it's broccoli. What is it?
Don't you give me no broccoli and tell me it's greens.
So, and
how many of y'all heard that on the Panther soundtrack? Yeah. Okay, okay. Because I did get a royalty check. I mean, somebody bought that shit. Yeah. Lord have mercy. Everybody here eats broccoli. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. Are there collard greens people in the house? Hello. How you do? Assalamu alaikum. Ooh, you can do that. SOBs, let me tell you something before Umar gets it together, because he's going to read this. I told my kids at one of the schools in Brooklyn on Delphi Street, PS 20, I told them, I said, yeah, I'm doing a performance at SOBs. They said, I said, what is so funny? SOB, don't you get it? SOB. I said, no, that's 50, at least 60 years old. SOB, son of a bitch. That's like played out. I said, no, sounds of Brazil, man. I said, damn, these kids have all that old shit, and they swear they are brand new. SOB. Come on. All right. This is real.
And this poem, I don't like usually reading stuff, but I haven't memorized this poem actually. I got so many other poems in my head. I have to take a brush, so I'm just going to read this too. But it's on our new album, The Time Has Come, and it's dedicated to James Ntume, Silence of the Jams.
You gotta listen to this, y'all.
In some lush green moment of treetop dancing, young men with their visions impaired, souls lathered down in stone, blunt instruments softly caress their minds, being assaulted by the violent foreplay and the casual sex of the American flag blowing in the breeze. Even the depth in their faces does not seem to belong to them. It seems borrowed on loan, consigned to them by too many blood and crip fantasies, dripping in dead tributes dedicated to the eagerness of self-destruction. Little girls boys, little girls losing their innocence to the magic kingdom and sleeping with the devil on park benches while kissing disfigured smiles, limping on one leg, and lesbian parades moving forward with subtle and very efficient precision. I saw you, a cocaine growl, trying to stand still while dancing in the wind, trying to give yourself to love while playing the slave master's game of turning our truth into serpents and demons that try to justify and rationalize this state of being alone. And all of this sensitivity sometimes kills us in good fuckings, in good and soft touches, in dark and mysterious eyes telling us they know how it feels while leaving us in the morning to contemplate their big pretty asses and I don't care attitudes walking out the door. Harlem dying of her own hands at stop signs and crack houses, promising the children free rides to Coney Island, while kente cloth voices on radios beg and plead for handouts from bloated poets lying in the filth and perversion of the hope that TV commercials would pretend that we still have imagination and creativity sold to the highest corporate bidder. Past rejections and animal urges wrapped around triggers, pulling down our mothers, pulling down our sisters, pulling down our daughters deserve more than bullets in the head and the misery of calling on our names in desperation. The death of love, trying to hold on one more time, in the drugs, in the rage, in the bitterness of tears screaming down your lies. I want to win. I want to laugh. I want to write poetry that is soft and slow, for hatred and beauty, for women and existence, for men and acceptance. They think we don't know. They think we don't know. They think we have nothing left, brothers. They are throwing dirt on our graves. Everywhere I go, everywhere I've been, we were there first in the language, in the mathematics, in the science, in the arts and trials of tribulations. I will meet you at the bridge with Huey, with Marvin, with Malcolm, and we will sing in the music, in the joy, in the belief that the revolution must not be televised.
Yes, that's on the new CD. And the thing about it that makes that piece...
Thank you, James and Tume.
Yeah, Silence of the Jams. Let's give Brother Tume a hand for... You know, he's got quite a few things that we still, you know, poets, you gotta understand that poets get from the people, y'all. We just get credit because somebody said, that's a poet. Say something poetic.
Now,
so you start thinking, now what was the last poetic thing I heard? Oh, yes, the confusement part. That's your problem. You're hanging out in the confusement part. Watch out for that scary go-round and stop riding on that unferris wheel. All brought to you by James M. Tume. Give him a hand, please.
On the album, on Silence of the Jams, we have none other but Pharoah Sanders playing on this piece.
Yes.
We have Ayi Dayin, the master Sinhalese conga percussionist also. And Pharoah does a little something on this tune, on the album. He takes a Heineken bottle and fills it up with half water and plays the bottle. You gotta hear this sound. Pharaoh's deep, but like this no time has come on the album.
He plays the bottles. Revolution, a revolution, gotta have a revolution right now, a revolution, don't need a revolution, still a revolution, remember when the revolution comes? Revolution. We're gonna go there.
Revolution comes.
A lot of people misunderstand revolution, they think that we're talking about getting some guns and shooting Giuliani. I don't want Giuliani's blood on my hands. I don't want to have nobody's blood on my hands. That's not what this revolution is about. I want us to get ourselves together, those of us who are righteous, so tough, until we can Jedi mind trick folks into killing themselves. That's the revolution. And if anybody's got the power of Jedi mind, we got it. All we got to do is clear the cobwebs out from our third eye. Once that third eye starts beaming, you're fucked up. I'm telling you. Revolution, gotta have a revolution right now. When the revolution comes! When the revolution comes! Boy, a lot of people hate this poem. Revolution. Because we have so many different
That's why you do it, because you know a lot of people hate it.
I love it,
That's why he does it, because you know a lot of people hate it.
That's right. But when they hate it, they love it. Same damn thing. If they didn't like it, they would be indifferent to it.
When the revolution comes, revolution.
When the revolution comes, Some of us will probably catch it on TV with chicken hanging from our mouths. You'll know it's revolution because there won't be no commercials when the revolution comes. When the revolution comes, when the revolution comes, preacher pimps are gonna split the scene with the communion wine stuck in their back pockets. Faggots won't be so funny then.
Revolution.
That's what they hate.
Revolution. Revolution.
Oh yeah.
Revolution.
And all the junkies will quit their nodding and wake up when the revolution comes.
When the revolution comes.
When the revolution comes. When the revolution comes. Transit cops will be crushed by the trains after losing their guns, and blood runs the streets of Harlem, drowning anything without substance when the revolution comes. 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 Revolution is solid. Revolution is. I hope pearly white teeth follow the mouths that speak of revolution without reference. The course of revolution is 360 degrees. Understand the cycle that never ends. Understand the beginning to be the end, and nothing in between but space and time that I make that you make to relate or not to relate to this world outside. My mind, your mind speak not of revolutions until you are willing to eat rats to survive when the revolution comes. 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 Black cultural centers will be forts supplying the revolutionists with food and arms. White death will fall off the walls of museums and churches, breaking the lie that enslaved our mothers. When the revolution comes. When the revolution comes. The old white Jesus Christ is going to be standing on the corner of Malcolm X Boulevard and 125th Street trying to catch the first gypsy cab out of Harlem. When the revolution comes. Afros trying to straighten their heads, and straight heads be trying to wear afros. When the revolution comes, men are look like men, and women are going like women again. When the revolution comes, when the revolution comes, yeah, when. But until then,
y'all know.
You know.
Y'all know. We know y'all know.
I know. You know. And even late Biggie Smalls knows because he sampled this shit himself.
Oh, yeah.
Niggas will party and bullshit and 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 party. And some might have will and you know will continue to die before the revolution comes.
All right. This next poem is dedicated to all the young black men out there in the streets trying to find the rites of passage through the streets of what the streets bring.
Streets are calling, bum rush, rush, bum rush. Streets are calling, bum rush, rush.
The streets are calling. The streets are calling. There's always the street. From shoeshine boys to big time to trick or treat. Trapped in the silence of primal screams, abandoned buildings and part-time dreams. The early signs become the later rage. The latest death at an early age. Young, bold, and unafraid. #1 tunes on the hit parade. Daddy came and then was gone. Made a move that left upon boys in the hood, hoods on the head, living large to die instead. They test the waters and dash the flames. They hear the whispers, but never their names. Looking over shoulders, trying to look ahead, overlooking paranoia to hear what's said. The only enemy becomes the only friend. The only way out becomes the only way in. Indecent exposure to legendary fame, playing with stacked debts while destroying the game. The divine becomes tempting and then cocaine. Addiction becomes subtle and then profane. Wearing the streets like they wear the crown. Wearing their dreams like they wear a frown. I can't quit. This is all I've got. There's plenty of drama, but where is the plot? Hey girlie, can you be mine? Hey girlie, can you be mine? Can I share this thought with you that needs to be kind? If you take the cue, I'll take the chance. If you be for real, I'll be romance. Young boys skipping that rope, boxing with illusion while trying to cope. The pyramids, the Sphinx, and then Hollywood, miscellaneous, miseducated, and misunderstood, consumed by power in the very situation becomes someone to beat. You feel the devil's presence, but you don't feel the heat. Violence prone, like blood to the heart. Self-destruction becomes state of the art. Riding in luxury, with death on their minds. Is it coming tomorrow? Should I open the blinds? Ooh, these millimeters and Italian rags, Gucci watches and body bags, designer jackets, designer shoes, old-fashioned bullets with designer blues. Passing time, only to fail the test, down by law, and then under arrest. Play that music, play it loud, take the fall, and then play the crowd, wailing saxophones and funky bass, same old cell block and CO's face, using women like they don't exist. Something in the mind begins to twist. Gang bangs and free for all. You stand erect, but you don't stand tall. And mama, with all that stress and strain and all those prayers that try to keep you sane in the midst of night where human becomes light. Young boys, and mama with all that stress and strain and all those prayers to keep you sane. That voice that whispers in the dark of night where human becomes savage and blinded by light. Where drug-related cops, set them up with drug-related cops, pick up drug-related dudes, setting them up to be on the drug-related news. Young boys, you are not alone. The dilemma is real, but not your own. The streets take your soul and give nothing in return. A point of reference should be a point to learn. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. They become your excuse and then your pride. Every little rhythm, every little beat, every little thing becomes the street. Deeply wounded and deeply scarred, you take what is left and you turn it hard. You take the night and you make it day. You take the consequences but forget to pay. You take insanity and you make it sane. You take the extreme and feed it your brain. Thoughts are confused and then become odd. Your slickness becomes arrogance and then your God. Deeper and deeper into the dark abyss. Drive-by shootings that begin to miss. Life becomes useless and carved in stone. The streets know the ending and set the tone. Isolated from self, isolated from mind, isolated from happiness, you will never find. Love becomes instant and then a flash. Misery becomes nuisance and then a rash. Peace of mind becomes distant and then far away. Hope becomes a mute with nothing to say. Emotions become callous and cold to the touch. You want to laugh, but it hurts so much. You reach out to be touched, but there's no one there. You cry out to the streets, but they don't care. One morning they find you. One morning they find you with your face in the mud. There are no wounds, there is no blood, but in your eyes is that mystery that has finally become known, that the streets don't work with anybody, they only work alone. Young boys, don't make me repeat, the worst thing to do is to die. And the streets are calling, there's always the streets, from shoeshine boys to big time, to trick or treat.
A major piece. Yes. See, that's why. Yeah, give it up. You deserve it. Yes. Come on, y'all. Make him feel good. Come on, you know, see, that's the thing about poets. You get a blow of a poet. They don't like that shit. Just, do you understand?
Y'all can throw some money up here if you want to, guys. Let me do that. For real.
Oh, he's a real people poet. Even back in the days, you know, run around, do poetry different villages for food and shit like that.
We don't like it, but we need money. That bullshit. I ain't that motherfucking much of a poet, man. That's just stupid shit.
No, that's a real poet, man. You guys get my money. No. I
nice to have money in your pocket too, especially in America and especially in New York City.
But you know, but check out the word poet. Poet just kind of means you're gonna be poor. Poet, P-O-P-O-R.
I think it's time to get off the stage now. He's getting a little weary here. It's time to get off the stage now. He's getting a little weary.
You've got to do something more than just be a goddamn poet. You know better than that.
Alright, moving right along.
Umar, I'm gonna dedicate this to you, Umar, because you're a poet.
Moving right along.
This is gonna be dedicated to my brother, my partner, and to all the other brothers and partners and sisters and brothers and all the folks in the house that understand. If we only knew what we could do. 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 We stop fussing and fighting and feeling blue. If we only knew that we have juice cause of an African connection that we can't cut loose. If the light was on in our minds, we wouldn't diss ourselves so much all the time. Stop and realize without disguise, we've got the power to change what's before our eyes. Where there is poverty and misery, we bring hope, joy, love, and security. There wouldn't be no need to lock your doors at night, cause no one lives in the dark. Everyone sees the light. If we only knew what we could do. If we only knew what we could do. If we only knew how bad we are. We make the sun disappear because we're the brightest star. If you feel the strength, then help those who are weak. Then we'll be stepping to the rhythm like Malcolm speaks. So you thought you were a chicken and your butt was made for kicking. You've been running around with your head hanging down, looking for chicken feed in this city of greed. Open up your eyes. Don't you know you can fly like an eagle to the sky, much higher than high. You don't need no crack, smack a patty, whack. All the bones from that dog, you can give them right back. If we only knew what we could do. If we only knew what we could do. If we only knew what we could do. We stop fussing and fighting and feeling blue. Just like we cut our hair in an African style. We show rich real treasure every time we smile. Some time ago, we just didn't know that we had the power to make the whole thing go. Motivator, educator, we're a power generator. Need to own the joint instead of working as a waiter. If we only knew what we could do. If we only knew how strong our will, no matter what's been done, our souls can be killed like the sun and the moon and all the stars above. It's a natural thing for us to share our love. We're a healing force in a world of pain, trying to use common sense where life is insane. If we can recognize just who we be, we take control of our lives and live with dignity. If we only knew what we could do. 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 We're going to leave you with this last piece. And it's actually from the second album, and some of you may have that. And we do have the new album out, and it's a monster. I mean, I want to, like, you brag.
You want to keep saying, yes you do, yes you do.
Well, it's a monster. It's a monster.
You want to keep saying that.
It is. It's very beautiful. I'm very proud of it. And it's cool.
Keep saying it's a monster.
And it's called The Time Has Come.
We wanted to sell. People say, well, y'all are selling out. Last portion, you motherfucker might be coming selling out. I'm trying to sell every CD, T-shirt, any motherfucker else I can sell. I'm a sellout, for real. I'll tell you too, I'm a sellout. You ain't gotta ask me. Ask nobody else. Am I selling out? Yes, go ask me. He's selling out. I got money in my pocket too for selling out.
Umar, where's your righteousness, my brother? About the people.
Oh, I got right here in my pocket. I got righteousness. It's right here. Right here. Here, I'll show you. See? I can't help that shit, I'm sorry. No, we can't. Scorpios can't help themselves.
Nasty boy.
We help other people but come out and fuck up our own selves. All my dreams have been turned into psychedelic nightmares with Rosemary's baby twitching in my face and Tiny Tim sticking his moldy penis into my beating mind as it cries for the string to repel the sanctimonious sounds of the right rock group, the Grateful Dead. Aspirations as they struggle for a free, sweet-smelling breath of life are being choked by the Christianity gas passed by the most Reverend Bishop Booten J.C. as he shouts it to him, oh, in the name of the Lord now. And my realities have turned into a stone figuration of Miss Liberty as he stands on the corners of the world selling herself to anyone with the head of George Washington on them, and all the while he sits on a throne of eagle shit with DDT in one hand and a white tornado in the other, wearing a crown of castrated black dicks and reading the non-violent thoughts of Gandhi. And I watch him relax, and I watch him relax, I watch him relax by playing golf with Bobokin's bars, with Ben and Buster glued to his thing, while Xerox copies of Martin Luther King are popping from his skull to dream the impossible dream. Knock, knock, who's there? It's Red Brown. And if you don't open up, I'll strike a light and burn your house down. And I see Malcolm's spirit, and I see Malcolm's spirit, and I see Malcolm's spirit, his eyes burning red, black and green flames, and crying tears of Thunderbird wine that seem to touch my lips and make me become thirsty for a taste of freedom. It's necessary to have freedom by any means necessary, and I begin to hate with love and love with hate. And I look up and see the moon. And I look up and see the moon bleeding lifeless white maggots and screaming for my help as the eagle's ripping claws rip and tear in its virginal form. Oh Isis, oh Moses, oh Sunra, oh Allah, Bismillah, Rahman, Rahim, give me your undying strength to rise up and reorder the cosmos so that man can truly understand and appreciate the cosmic beauties and realities of science and love. And he has turned the feminine part of me into a sexual thing. Look at her standing there wearing a micro miniskirt made from the strands of Freud's mother's pubic hairs, and an uncovered breast, doing blood and pus, and her lips colored with an anesthetic white woman called Yvonne. But yet she smiles at me, with the indignity of O'Connor ejaculating sperm into her mind, and George Wallace mentally finger fucking her at night in his wet dreams, and her soft, wet, clinging tears of love seem to flood my heart with strength to gather all of my manhood from my lower head and to put it back into my upper head. And I hear my mother's voice, and I hear my mother's voice, and I hear my mother's voice rustling in the wind, reminding me of the many times he tried to rape her of her blackness, but she, with the strength of a panther, the swiftness of a cheetah, and the cunning of a lioness, would not be caged up with the other lies that kept me from being totally free. And when she came home at night, I could smell the musty closeness of his body and see his translucent fingerprints on a giant, really physical structure depressed from one off his beastly attacks. But she would smile the smile of 1,000 black orchids at me. But she would smile the smile of 1,000 black orchids at me. Now realizing all the while that the anger of 100 lions was residing in my soul, and doing all this time, my father was somewhere drowning his nutri-plastic minus self in a bottle of cheap wine, and letting that spiritual kindness, John Coltrane, pay celestial homage to that white God who was lying in his man. And down in Ross, how could you be supreme and sing songs of black love when your mouth is overrunning with the sperm of trigger? And William Simon is going to commit suicide when he finds out Nat Turner made love to his great-great-grandmother, and he has taken our most violent and militant leaders and stuck lollipops up their ass to pacify their black power thoughts, and he is beginning to assume that all of us were born under the Scientologist of war, because all we do is